Hi, and welcome to this short presentation on the portfolio conclusion. As the name suggests, this conclusion is going to be at the end of your portfolio, so it'll be the last entry, and it is sometimes called the metacognitive. Now, what a metacognitive is it's just basically a reflective piece. It's thinking about your thinking, and what you're going to do is reflect on your entire composition experience. So taking all the weeks that you've been working on writing this semester, and you are going to reflect upon those. Now, what a lot of people do is they reflect on how the class has changed them as a learner, a thinker, and a writer. So instead of taking each individual essay, which you did in your learning statement, you wrote about each individual essay, now what I'd like you to do is, as a whole, look at your entire semester. How have you changed as a learner, as a thinker, and then as a writer? Now, in terms of changing as a learner, maybe it was some of the learning strategies that you learned. Maybe you learned not to be a procrastinator. Maybe you learned that you learn best by videos rather than by textbook pieces. Maybe, those kind of things are how you might change as a learner. Study skills, that kind of thing would kind of fall into that category. In terms of thinking, we talk a lot about how the more you write, the better you become at thinking, and vice versa. The more you think, sometimes that translates into writing. So how have you changed as a thinker? Have you become a deeper thinker? Did you think differently about topics and aspects of things than you had maybe at the beginning of the semester? Maybe some of the discussion board questions, things that were posed to you by your classmates, maybe those things really made you think. And so you can talk about those kind of things. And then lastly, probably the easiest one is, and probably the longest in your metacognitive, is how have you changed as a writer? Did you go from not using the writing process to now using it? Did you refine the writing process? Have you become better at grammar? And the big thing about this is that you want to be as specific as you can. So if you can reference specific concepts, if you can reference specific essays that were most helpful to you, that is going to be valuable to you when you go to write your metacognitive. Lastly, really as a very general kind of idea, it's going to show what you have learned about yourself and the writing process throughout this whole semester. It's also an opportunity to evaluate how you performed in the course. So if you had trouble in certain areas, why was that the case? Was it that the concepts were difficult? It wasn't anything that you had ever learned about or heard about. Maybe it's been a long time since you've written, those kind of things. It could also be, that life got in the way. Sometimes, you fall prey to sickness, or, family obligations kind of turn up. So if you didn't perform how you wanted to perform, what was maybe the cause of that? And the idea here is to focus on your reaction. The class concepts can't necessarily be changed because that's the information that has to be kind of distributed to you. So you may not have liked something, and so you can mention that, but what was your reaction to that? Because a lot of the things within the course can't be changed. The concepts and things can't be changed. So focus on your reaction. If you, let's say, learn very well by videos, but you had to read some textbooks, how did you react to that? And it's also then an opportunity to show what you have learned. If you've gained only a little bit throughout this class, explain why that happened. Was it a lack of interest? Did you have a slow start? Maybe it was a lack of time throughout the entire semester because you were, busy doing other things, working, family obligations, etc. So really this metacognitive, or this conclusion essay, is reflective of the entire semester, all of the essays, all of the content that we've covered. You can definitely discuss how you've changed as a learner, thinker, and writer. Talk about how you performed in the course. Show me what you've learned. You can sometimes what they will also do is they will justify their grade. So, if you earned an A, why is it that you earned an A? If you earned a C, why did you earn the C? Those kind of things can be included as well. And then lastly, the very basic pieces of this, it has to be at least 7 paragraphs, including an intro and a conclusion. And those 2 paragraphs, the intro and conclusion, can be very short. The body of your essay should be a little bit longer, obviously. There is no learning statement or entry slip, as it's called here, needed. You just put the conclusion or the metacognitive in without that intro piece, the learning statement or the entry slip, as it's called here. And it also will count as pages in your portfolio's final page count. So, when you're adding up all of your pages to get to that page count, this one will be included in that as well. As always, if you have questions about this, please don't hesitate to reach out. I would be happy to help you.